AI agents are now finding real security issues in public repos. I spun up my AI agent, gave it a simple task. Go find a real bug, an actual security issue, in one of the most widely used JavaScript packages out there. It picked path to reg expression. You probably never heard of it, but if you built anything with express.js, you're using it. Over 100 million downloads a week. First thing my agent does is pull the package down, not installing it. It uses npm pack to grab the raw tarball. It wants exactly what ships to developers. No build steps, no transformations, so the source is as is. It scans the code base and figures out size instantly. 425 packages. Small enough that the agent can reason across the entire code base in one pass instead of sampling pieces. That's where this gets interesting. Then it starts probing edge cases. It searches for how backslashes are handled right here on line 88, escape logic. When the parser hits a backslash, it grabs the next character and pushes it into a token. Looks fine at first glance, but the agent doesn't stop at looks fine. It asks what happens at that boundary. So it generates a test case of its own. It runs the parser with a path that ends in a trailing backslash. No tricks, just test followed by a single backslash. Then it evaluates the output. And this is where it catches something subtle. The output token becomes backslash test undefined. The word undefined was never in the input. The agent traces it immediately. The parser reads past the end of the string, pulls undefined, and concatenates it directly into the result. Now it goes one level deeper. It doesn't just stop at parsing, it checks how that flows into the regex generator. And sure enough, the final regex becomes backslash test undefined, not test, not backslash test. That means a route defined with a trailing backslash silently breaks. It won't match what it should and may match something completely unintended. That's route confusion. That's a real bug. Then the agent isolates the fix. So one missing boundary check before accessing the next character. Verify if it exists. If not, throw, just like the library already does for unterminated quotes. This isn't a complex rewrite. It's a single guard condition. From there, the agent drafts the report, reproduction steps, root cause, suggested fix, clean and direct. I review it, submit it to GitHub, and that becomes issue 433. And they've already begun working on it. That's what responsible disclosure looks like when you have an agent doing the heavy lifting. This took about 15 minutes end to end, and I was sitting on the couch, not because I was fast, but because the agent handled the exploration, the edge cases, and the validation. No scanners, no massive tool chain, just reasoning over real code. If you're thinking about getting into security research or agent exploration, this changes the entry point entirely. If you're no longer starting from zero, you're starting with an agent who already knows where to look.